Would you be a fame monster? That's today's question. Hi, my name is Sunny, and I have 5 piles you guys can choose from left to right. Pile 1, 2, 3, followed by 4 and 5 on the very right side. So if you need more time, you're more than welcome to pause the video and contemplate on the question and just channel your energy and think about whether you would actually become a fame monster or not. So it's a yes or no format. So you guys have, well, let me start by saying pile number 1, you guys have a no, which is great, right? In theory. I mean, to each their own, but this is a no. You guys have the 8 of Pentacles reversed. You would not be a fame monster. It has a lot to do with the fact that you are much more private, maybe a little bit more humble when it comes to, like, let's say whatever career path you choose that ends up being very well known. Like, you don't always have to be like a super big celebrity, like that's an actor or an actress. You could be someone that is well known for renovating houses, or maybe you're the next Martha Stewart, or maybe you're just a famous chef, like whatever that may be. Your career choice seems to be a little bit more hands-on, and it is something that it seems like you could be mellow. So generally speaking, this is a type of vibe I feel where you have a mellow type. It's not mellow job where I still feel like you have to work hard at this, but it's mellow in the sense of, if you had to point out like whether people would like obsess with you and stuff, like no, I think that people might be like, oh, is that this and this person? Like, yeah, that's that person. I do think that they might recognize you and maybe come up to you and maybe get an autograph or something, but I don't feel they would like harass you as much as some other type of celebrity. It's a very different kind of celebrity. It's more, it feels more like you're down to earth, approachable, more humble, but I just feel you're more practical and you're not interested in that. I feel that you would possibly just like give a nod to it, like, yeah, that's my work, but it doesn't seem like it resonates that much with you in terms of like your vanity and stuff. So that's good. That's what I have for you, pile number 1. I hope you enjoyed that. Pile number 2, you guys have no, you guys have an Ace of Swords reversed. You would not be a fame monster, pile number 2. So some of the reasons as to why you could be, or not, sorry, why you would not be, sorry, a fame monster probably has to do with the fact that you might, I don't think that's your drive necessarily to be out there in the public sphere. I think that maybe you enjoy being creative and doing stuff, and it feels like you like to work behind the scenes in the sense of like, maybe you just like to write songs, or maybe you just like to use your voice, like if you're a public like figure and speaker, it just feels like you want to be recognized by just your voice. Like, I imagine like a voice actor or a voice actress where you like people knowing you, but you don't want your face to be known. So it feels like you are a little bit more private because you want, maybe it's the paranoia, the whole mental sphere that's like a block for you, where you wouldn't necessarily appreciate being known. But it does feel like you enjoy it, but you hesitate a little bit more in being the face of like the public arena that you're in, working in. It's like you would have issues with that. So I do feel that you are someone that's a little bit more private in that, for your mental health, just to keep a healthy boundary. But I do feel they would recognize you possibly because of your voice. Like, I just feel like maybe you do commercials or something like that. If you were up to like in a creative field, I just feel like you would be the kind of person that your voice can be easily recognized. I think of like the lady that does the Mojo. I just remember the Tom Holland, like, you're the lady that does Mojo. Like, do the thing. And he's like, please. And then she's like, oh, that's me. And then she starts speaking. It could be something like that where they can recognize you, but they're not necessarily going to know your face. So I hope that does entail some description about that. But no, you would not let that get to your head. I think that you're going to be a little bit more down to earth and maybe what you think in your mind. So this is a no for you. Next is pile number 3. Pile number 3, you guys have a no. So you would not be a fame monster, pile number 3. You guys have the 6 of Swords reversed. So it does feel like you're someone that, even though you could be walking away from these things, it's like you kind of go back and forth. It feels to me like you're the kind of person that, unfortunately, maybe because of the kind of fields you're in, because like in the sense of because of the things that you're involved in, you kind of go in and out of drama. So maybe you're like the kind of person that works in PR and stuff. So you work in these things and you have to have to get a hold of, I guess the best way to say it is you get a hold of people, and you're kind of cleaning up behind the scenes. So it just feel like maybe even with you, like you might do that pretty often. It's like you try to clean up your image, but sometimes you get involved with drama, but it doesn't feel necessarily you would enjoy being known in like the public sphere for like many things about yourself. I think you're more private. You like to keep a more, not wholesome image, but more so that you have things, sorry I popped my fingers, that you have things together, like you have it under control, you're well put together. So I do feel that you would not be a fame monster. It wouldn't necessarily, being around people that are, being around people that are popular or famous in the moment within a certain demographic might not necessarily be your cup of tea, mostly because it's not your style. I think it has a lot to do with the fact that you're not interested. I think you're more interested in people and mingling and talking and getting to know people with different like talents, and not so much like look who I'm seen with kind of thing. So do keep that in mind. Pile number 3. So I will start with the next one. So pile number 4. You guys have a yes. You guys have a 3 of Wands upright. So let me just scoop these. I might as well. So, oops. So pile number, not 3, 4. Maybe some people might have been attracted to selecting pile number 3, 4. Yeah, 3 and 4 possibly. The reason why this is a yes, you would be a fame monster. I think it's because you're looking at the broader picture of how this could, like this type of environment could help you out in your career. So maybe you're like, look, good, how does that saying go? Good press is all press is good press, right? All press is good press. Basically saying no, yeah, or am I confusing it with no news is good news? No, I think the first one's right. No news is good news is basically saying that not being known is good. Like, well, whatever. Sorry, I'm really bad. Sorry. Okay. Basically saying that I just lost my train of thought. I got so nervous. Oh, it's been a while since I got that nervous. Maybe your energy kind of makes me nervous. I do feel that you're someone that, I'm not saying that you'd be kind of like the Kardashians, right? Where it's like, as long as you stay relevant, it's making you money. But in the same sense of like, you have that work ethic where it's like, look, I'm here to make business. If business is thriving, then I'm doing my job right. So it does feel like fame would get to you to some sense, maybe connections, maybe your passions. I feel that maybe your temper, you might be known for your temper tantrums, or just arguments with people. It feels like you guys would go head to head possibly. I feel because you're ambitious, it could also like rub people the wrong way, even though it's kind of like when you get called, specifically females, when females get called bees because they know what they want. So it can be like that. It could be those scenarios where like you know what you want, but somehow you might not come across it the best way to some people, like specifically certain areas that are possibly even male dominated. So it could be like that where it's like you're pushing the boundaries, but it kind of gets under people's skin. So maybe that's why you might become a fame monster, where you're like, you get a reputation, but you don't mind the reputation, so you kind of live for it. So I just feel like you could be looking at the broader picture of like, look, this is going to get me to where I need to be, so that's totally fine. So that's what I have for you, pile number 4. And last but not least, pile number 5. Yeah. Pile number 5, you guys have the King of Wands upright, so this is a yes. You would become a fame monster. Sorry, I needed to. Let me take some water because I need a sip. Pile number 5, I think that the reason why you would become a fame monster has a lot to do with the fact that you might have been attracted a little bit to the previous pile, but there's a certain hint of like not familiarity, but like connection between both words. Like, I think because you would do whatever it takes, you might be addicted to that fame. So it's like, scandals are not something new to you, I feel. I think you'd embrace it. I think you don't mind it if it means that you're going to get the work. So if it's going to get you the role, or if it's going to get you the client or the connections, just the constant workflow feels like you wouldn't mind it. You have the stamina, you have the backbone for it, and it feels more like you have the backbone compared to the previous pile, maybe. I don't even remember which card I put out in the previous one. But I think it was a wand one too, but I forgot. But basically, because I set them aside and I put them back on the deck. So basically, for this pile, I do feel that you are a little bit more commanding. There's a commanding aura about you, and that's why you would be a fame monster, where you're like, you know who to talk to and you know how to demand for things, because it's going to be a cutthroat kind of environment. So I feel that you very much know that, but you're comfortable with that. It feels like you would stand your ground and stay in that place. So you would be trying your best to keep relevancy by, starting some ish with people, starting some drama. It feels like maybe you might be the kind of person that ends up on reality TV for like being messy and stuff, but people would love you. So it feels like you would entertain people, and maybe not everybody would appreciate that or like you, because it's a strong character that you build up and you promote. So maybe that's why you would be well known. But I mean, it is something that people would recognize you for. So I think you take that as a plus for you, right? It's a point given for you where you're like, well, I'm doing the best that I can just to stick with what I need to do, just to remain popular. And maybe you're just doing it because you want the extra amenities of coming with the fame, which is like the nice little gifts or tokens that they give, or like discounts, or even like the nice trips. So it could be like that. That's why you enjoy being in the celebrity space, and that's in that like aspect of fame. Not necessarily that you're going to be like an A celebrity, but more so that you're going to be recognized. I think you're very comfortable with that. Maybe you could even be in the fashion industry for some people, or you could be in a like a more serious type of environment, where you could be like a very well known lawyer. This doesn't mean this is the specific cards for these, but I'm just giving you ideas of different ways it can play out, where it's like you're going to be recognized and you're going to enjoy that. So you could be addicted to it, but it does feel like you would thrive in it. It's very much an environment that would fit your personality. I'll say that. So kudos for you if that's the kind of environment you'd like to place yourself. But yes, that's what I have for you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Thank you so much for sticking by to the very end and listening. I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I'll see you soon in a different reading. So bye everybody, and have a great day.